Okay, today we're going to do a dish. It's something that a lot of people have said to me that they're having trouble getting their children or youngsters to eat vegetables. So we're going to hide them in a really tasty little treat. Nice and cheap, black pudding. I think that was £1.20 something from Lidl. A little bit of streaky bacon. We're going to do a nice pecan sauce with it, like a tangy sauce, because it's going to be slightly sweet. So we've got parsnips, apples, these are from my garden, but just a couple of any old apples you can find. Some potatoes, these are from Vinigar Farm, Bloomfields, the Kerr's Pink. I've got some chopped onion, I've got a little bit of vinegar, some mustard, and just some made up gravy. So nice and simply, all we do is I'm going to steam all of this. I've got a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to first of all put in the apple, because I want these to be nice and soft. Then on top of that we put the parsnip. These have just been peeled and chopped into thin bits, because you want them to be nice and soft. And the potatoes take quite a lot longer. Then on top of those, pop the potatoes. Should have bought a bigger steamer really, shouldn't I? There you go. So all of those in there, and we pop a lid on, and then put that to boil. That should take half an hour, depending on how strong your stove is. So we pop those off and start cooking them. Meanwhile, we take another pot, and normally you fry onions and all that to get rid of the acidy taste, but we want that taste today. So we pop those in there. We get some, I'm using, it's a wine vinegar, it's homemade, but use whatever vinegar you can get. Try to avoid the non-brewed condiment, actually buy proper vinegar, but use what you've got. Going to put in about a tablespoon of vinegar. Then we're going to put in a pinch of mixed herbs or Italian herbs, whichever you've got. A bay leaf. Pinch of herbs, bay leaf. And then we pop it up with some water. That's just water. Now what we're going to do is reduce that until all of that liquid's just about gone. At which point we'll add some made up gravy and a bit of mustard. So that's that done. I'm not going to insult you all by telling you how to cook your black pudding and bacon. We know how to do that. We want to try and get the bacon so it's a bit crispy. So whether you're going to use an air fryer, put it in the oven, do it in a pan with a weight on it, it's entirely up to you. But we'll get all of those cooked off, and then we'll just finish the sauce and assemble. Okay, so the onion mixture's reduced. You can see just a tiny bit left in now. If you don't feel you've got enough flavour out of the onions, you can add more water and continue to reduce. All I've got now is a little bit of made up gravy, whatever one you use. Pop that in. Then a nice squirt of mustard. That's about a teaspoon, but look, you use a little bit or a lot, it's entirely up to you, however you like your sauce. There we go, and that will give you a nice tangy mustardy sauce. Goes beautifully because the mash will have a little bit of sweetness in it from the parsnip and from the apple, and this will counteract that and make it all balanced nicely. Okay, they're cooked now. You probably can't see it because of the steam, but there you go. So we're just going to pull this out. Pop it on now. grab back the pot when you can see something. Basically everything's steamed and cooked nicely. We're going to put it back in the pot. Let that steam clear a bit. Now we're going to season it. It's a nice sea salt. This is how much is up to you and the doctor. Then you can put white pepper in if you like. Personally, I like black pepper. I know it looks awful in the mash, but I like it. So there we go. And also you get the nice, every now and then, a nice spicy crunch from a big bit. I like pepper, so I'm being generous. You put in what you want. Now the naughty bit, I'm going to throw in some butter. And then get a potato masher and just mash it all up. I'll mash that and then get back to you. Now I've just tasted this, it's absolutely delicious. The wife just said, someone was asking at the family day in Bucky, can you freeze it? This freezes beautifully, so you can make a bigger batch. And that will go with sausages, black pudding, haggis, a nice pork chop. You know, if you've got a bit of duck leg or something. All I'm adding now is a little bit of nutmeg. You can use it or not, it's entirely up to you. It just gives a little bit of spice and brings out the apple a little bit. You don't want a lot, just a bit freshly grated. Give that a mash. Some people, I mean, if you were doing this in a restaurant, you had a bit of cream and all the rest of it, but we're not. And this really tastes lovely. You've got essentially mashed potato. There's a little sort of back hint of parsnip and a tiny touch of apple. Just a little, just enough to sweeten it. It's not like, oh gosh, that tastes like an apple pie. But it really is good. So we'll plate it now. We'll do. Take some of the mashed potato, pop it on the plate. It's a nice black pudding. Lovely bacon bits. And then the tangy sauce just to finish it off. There you go. That's your black pudding with parsnip and apple mash. Do try this, it really is good. Bit of a treat actually at a low price. Enjoy.